UnitedHealthcare CEO Brian Thompson. It comes as prosecutors formally declared their intent to seek the death penalty. Fox's Michelle Ross is live outside the federal courthouse in Lower Manhattan with the very latest. Michelle.
Hi there, Sharon. Luigi Mangione looked different today compared to his normal preppy wardrobe that we've seen him in the past. Still freshly barbered, but he walked into the courtroom in a beige-colored jumpsuit, his jail garb, and with his ankles shackled. Now, the state trial was supposed to go first, but now that the death penalty is being sought, today all parties agreed that the federal trial will go ahead first. No cameras were allowed in the courtroom today, but Mangione sat down among his defense team, and he was chatting with them before the hearing. The defense attorneys all had smiles on their faces interacting with him. The lead defense attorney, Karen Friedman-Agnifilo, informed the court that she'd been made aware of the state eavesdropping on recorded phone calls between Mangione and his attorneys while in jail. But she also said that this was inadvertent. Prosecutors said all phone calls are recorded, but they were unaware of this and that they would look into it, and told the judge they'd find a way to secure and segregate his his phone calls. Now, these hearings continue to draw a large crowd of his supporters. About 20 members of the public, nearly all of them women, were inside of the courtroom, but many dozens more were not able to go in because of limited space. Now, as for when the trial will start, the judge did set pre-trial schedule. She set different meetings. The final meeting of the year will be December 5th, which is about a year and 1 day after Brian Thompson was killed. And December 5th, she says that she wants a firm date set for trial to begin in 2026. We're live outside federal court in Lower Manhattan. Michelle Ross, Fox 5 News.
All right. Thank you so much, Michelle. Well, more breaking news. Disgraced former Long Island Congressman George Santos is headed to prison. This morning, a judge sentencing him to 7 years and 3 months behind bars. Fox 5's Jody Goldberg was there and joins us live outside the courthouse in Central Islip with the very latest. Jody.
Sharon, good afternoon to you. Prosecutors got exactly what they asked for. They asked for the maximum sentence, and that's what the judge gave Santos. 87 months in federal prison, and the judge said he's brilliant, and she's sad to see his life get shortened by a jail sentence. Take a look at him. Santos walking inside the courtroom, inside the courthouse earlier this morning. Very different than we've seen him in the past. He walked in at about 10:20, the sentencing happening at 10:30, and the media circus was here, but the ex-congressman left his confidence in the car, crying when he addressed the judge. He apologized for betraying the confidence entrusted in him by his constituents. He expressed remorse and hung his head as the judge sentenced him to the maximum sentence of 87 months in federal prison. All along, prosecutors have argued Santos isn't your average defendant, and he has repeatedly proven he's not capable of telling the truth. The 36-year-old pleaded guilty to wire fraud and aggravated identity theft last year, just weeks before his trial. He has to pay more than $500,000 back in restitution and forfeiture. Constituents and victims shouted as he left the courthouse. Officials say it's about time he's held accountable for years of fraud, deceit, and theft.
Officials who lie and steal and defraud will find themselves in a courtroom, and they will learn, as George Santos has, that there's a serious price to pay for corrupt behavior. No one is above the law.
And come July 25th, George Santos will finally be where he belongs, behind bars, answering for these crimes.
And we heard from people who identify themselves as Santos supporters. They think the sentence is too stiff. We spoke with Santos. Santos said if, in fact, President Trump wants to pardon him, he can go ahead and do it, but it's not something he's going to directly ask for. That's the latest here outside a federal court in Central Islip. Jody Goldberg. Sharon, let's send it back to you.
All right. Thank you, Jody. Well, developing news out of Lower Manhattan right now, where police are searching for a killer following a fatal subway stabbing. Authorities say the incident taking place about 8:30 this morning inside the Brooklyn Bridge City Hall subway station. Detectives say the 38-year-old victim suffered multiple stab wounds and was pronounced dead at the hospital. Those we spoke to say they don't feel safe riding the subways.
Not safer. I mean, the homeless people have taken over the subway, and the mental illness is just at an all-time high. So hopefully they figure it out. Hopefully this triggers a much larger response that's needed in the subways.
Do you still feel nervous when you ride the subway?
Yes. You got people aggressively panhandling, and
you got to latch on to everything and you constantly looking around. It's not right. It's not right at all.
Well, despite this latest incident of violence, officials say there has been a decrease in subway crime this year. And concerns this afternoon that the Ocean County wildfire could become the largest New Jersey has had to deal with in decades. The state's Forest Fire Service is now saying the Jones Roads wildfire is 60% contained and has burned more than 15,000 acres in Ocean and Lacey townships. No one was hurt, but low humidity and gusty winds today means it could spread before the expected rain is to hit tomorrow. And a senior Russian general is dead after a car bombing near Moscow. Russia says an explosive device was placed in the general's car. The investigative committee of Russia has opened an inquiry into the attack. It comes on the same day that the U.S. envoy Steve Witkoff met with Russian President Vladimir Putin. Now, they met for 3 hours in Moscow to discuss a potential peace plan with Ukraine. And meantime, in a recent interview with Time magazine, President Trump says Crimea will stay with Russia. He added that Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky understands that Crimea was annexed by Russia in 2014. This comes as senior U.S. officials warn the Trump administration could soon give up attempts to stop the war there if Russia and Ukraine don't come to a settlement. And the public viewing memorial for Pope Francis is now over. In the past 3 days, though, more than 250,000 people paid their respects to the pontiff as he lay in state inside St. Peter's Basilica. Tomorrow, Pope Francis's funeral will be held in St. Peter's Square. President Trump and the First Lady are on their way to Rome for the funeral. The Pope will be buried in Rome at Santa Maria Maggiore. That is breaking with tradition.
Yes. That home should be simple and with essential things, and that respects his life. Humble, simple, and essential.
Well, plans for the conclave are still in the early stages. A growing number of cardinals, though, are indicating they'd like to see another pope like Pope Francis. Timothy Cardinal Dolan is among those who will be selecting a new pope in the coming weeks. And we'll be right back.
It's on Friday. I'll be on the field. You're gonna be there?
Is that the football guy?
Can you give me a minute? Thanks.
So, do you have any plans on Saturday? I was thinking
Hey, is that the guy?
Dad. Yeah, it's the guy.
Oh, I found Mr. Squishy.
Louder.
Here, there, everywhere. Reliable internet where you need it most. Prices start at $30 per month when bundled. Go to Spectrum.com to learn more.
And welcome back. Open street season is set to start this weekend. Officials with the City Department of Transportation laid out the details yesterday. You can expect 127 different open streets this spring and summer, starting with the annual Open Streets Car-Free Earth Day tomorrow. The event features 54 car-free streets and plazas throughout the 5 boroughs. Streets will be car-free from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. And if you'd like some more information, you can simply go to nyc.gov/carfreeNYC. Well, Macys in Herald Square is celebrating the 50th anniversary of the flower show. Organizers say it includes surrealist gardens and all kinds of floral displays. And there will also be immersive events and exclusive deals throughout Macys' new bouquet of deals. That's what they're calling it. And this year, the flower show has been extended to 3 weeks. It kicks off this Sunday and lasts until May 18th. Admission is free. And ribbon cutting day for the long-awaited transformation of the new Davis Center at the Harlem Mirror. The $160 million project includes a free public swimming pool and ice skating rink. Visitors can also enjoy the Harlem Oval, which is a new public green for seasonal events and programs. And there will also be free low-cost programming for things like yoga, dance, wellness classes. And there's a year-round access. The natural landscape there was also restored, and the community, as you can imagine, is pretty excited.
This is a breath of fresh air. It's beautiful, and the community is going to enjoy it. I mean, the pool, it's going to be so large and so much fun for the kids, and adults also. And then when it gets cold in winter, the ice skating, oh my gosh.
All right, well, the new Davis Center officially opens to the public tomorrow. Let's take a live look outside right now. It was really beautiful. I was just out there a short time ago down by City Hall, I have to say. Very busy, a lot of tourists in the city this weekend.
That's good for them too, right? Except tomorrow they better have the rain gear ready to go, Sharon, because we do have a change in the forecast by then. But nice day. We've had some sun and high clouds at times, but mild once again. In fact, away from the coast, there's 80 for Poughkeepsie, mid-70s around town, 78 Islip, but only 65 as you get to eastern Long Island, down by Belmar at 74. Wind continues out of the south. That will be the story tonight. South to southwesterly, about 5 to 10. So that's going to hold the temperatures up. But again, we will be seeing an increase in clouds. Highs so far today have been in the upper 70s around the city, 80 there North Jersey, but again lower 70s to even 60s at the coast. Same story really all through the Northeast. Mostly so far we've been in the upper 70s, and those 70s taking us down towards Washington D.C. and westward towards Detroit. Up hint though, look at Chicago, 59. Some of that cool air will arrive here for the second half of the weekend. All right, on the satellite view, you can see the high clouds that are moving on through. There are showers off to the west. It's going to take a while before they get there because the atmosphere is still pretty dry, but those showers do extend back to Chicago. There are a couple of thunderstorms mixed in there as well. We can't rule that out for tomorrow. Mostly that'll be in the afternoon, but the showers are going to start coming in late tonight as first this warm front moves northward, so we stay in the mild air, and then that system from the west comes in our area. So it's sort of a split decision for the upcoming weekend. Let's watch the futurecast, and again, you'll see the showers coming in overnight, and they'll last through tomorrow morning. The potential, again, as we head on in towards the afternoon, you'll see a couple of thunderstorms starting to fire right there ahead of the cold front. It's going to turn windy in the afternoon. Then we'll start to clear it out later tomorrow night. We'll end up with sun and clouds and a windy Sunday, much cooler. We'll be stuck in the 60, 62 degree range on Sunday after being, again, up in the mid-70s for tomorrow. But after that, we're going to warm things right back up again into early next week. All right, so clouds thicken up later as we go through the evening. 59 in the city by morning, but the showers will have arrived by then. They'll come in past the midnight hour. 50 is about 60 in the suburbs. 75 tomorrow. Showers again, and afternoon thunderstorms. It becomes windy, only upper 50s at the coast and upper 70s inland. Sun and clouds, windy, 61 Sunday, but back to 70s Monday and Tuesday. Even low 80s Wednesday, just a chance of a shower, and then back to near 70 for Thursday and Friday. Sharon?
I like the sound of 70,
yes,
Nick.
And even
awesome.
82, yes.
All right, sounds good. Well, that's your news block for now. I'm Sharon Crowley. Thank you so much for joining us. Tune into the 5 o'clock news on Fox 5 right here on Fox Local for all the day's news as it develops. I will be with you coming up next week. Have a great weekend.